Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrta Adi Lila, chapter 5, verse number 36. Yad arinam pariyanam cha prapyam ekam evoditam tad brahma krishna yor aikyad kiranar kopama jushoho. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Where it has been stated that the Lord's enemies and devotees attain the same destination, this refers to the ultimate oneness of Brahman and Lord Krishna. This may be understood by the example of the sun and the sunshine, in which Brahman is like the sunshine and Krishna himself is like the sun. Om Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmitamina Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. So the purport is very long. I'm going to cover all the points in the class. So as we see this particular verse, when we read Srila Prabhupada's purport, it's very informative. And also, as always, it's a very significant verse also. But if we just read the translation, it is not easy to understand. That's why we are grateful to Srila Prabhupada that in his purport, he explains to us in much more detail with examples, with stories from Srimad Bhagavatam. So this verse is talking about difference between the destination of devotees and non-devotees. Do you think it'll be the same destination? Or is it that all roads lead to the same place? Right? So when I had to come here, I came here for the first time. That's okay. Don't need it. So like we all came here for the first time. Is it that we took any road and we would reach here? No, we had to follow the directions given to us by GPS. So similarly, devotees and non-devotees do not get the same destination. Example we can see of Srila Prabhupada mentions in the purport, example of Kamsa, Hiranyakashipu, Shishupal, all these who were non-devotees, who did not believe or did not worship Krishna favorably. So in the purport, Srila Prabhupada talks about a conversation between Maitreya Muni and Parashar Muni, these two great sages, and the conversation is about Jai and Vijay. We've heard that before, right? Haven't we heard about Jai and Vijay in Srimad Bhagavatam? We have read, right? Where is it? In chapter 3, sorry, canto 3, chapter 16. We hear about the way these doorkeepers of Vishnu Loka were cursed by the 4 Kumaras. So in the purpose, Srila Prabhupada explains that in Satya Yuga, Jai came as Hiranyakashipu and Vijay came as Hiranyaksha. Hiranyaksha, yes. And they were brothers, right? Now in Treta Yuga, they came as Ravana and Kumbhakaran. They were brothers. In Dwapar Yuga, Jai came as Shishupal and Vijay came as Dantavakra, but they were cousins. Now in Kali Yuga, who is Jai and Vijay? Jagai and Madai. And Srila Prabhupada says there are many Jagai Madais in this Kali Yuga. Not just one who were there in Navadvip, but many Jagais and Madais we can find in Kali Yuga. So, it behooves us to take on more responsibility because we have many Jagai Madais that we have to deal with. Not just deal with, but also help them become devotees of the Lord. So here this verse is talking about the destination of devotees and non-devotees after they give up the body. Where do they go? Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajatante kalevaram. Krishna says, if you think of me, you will come to me. And if you think of something else or someone else, and that is where you will go. Now, when Jai came as Hiranyakashipu, he failed to recognize the Supreme Lord as the Supreme Lord. He just was envious and he was the enemy of the Supreme Lord. And when Lord Nrsimhadev came because Prahlad Maharaj, made a claim. He's everywhere. He's even in the pillar. So Lord Nrsimhadev, he did not wait to be born in a family, grow up, and then come to save Prahlad Maharaj, devotee, right? No, straight. My devotee said, I'm in the pillar, so here I am, and I will come from the pillar. Even though Hiranyakashipu saw that, he still did not believe that this is the Supreme Lord. He thought this is just an ordinary living entity who has just broken the pillar and has come out. But because he was in the mode of passion, Prabhupada says, and that is why his end was certain. Lord Nrsimhadev killed Hiranyakashipu. Now, the same Jai in his next life came as Ravana. And Prabhupada says, as Ravana, he had a lot more opulence. Now, what happens when we get a lot of opulence? We become puffed up. We become so entangled. We become so engaged in enjoying the senses. Oh, I have this also. Let me try that also. Right? So that is what happened with Ravana. He thought he is a proprietor of the whole creation. No one can kill him. He is so powerful. He's so opulent. Lanka is called Sone ki Lanka, right? Sone ki Lanka. Mean, so much opulence was there when Ravana came in the next yuga. And because he was so opulent and so puffed up, he also failed to recognize Lord Ramachandra as Supreme Personality of Godhead. Big mistake. And it's not that they were not knowledgeable, they had knowledge of the Vedas. Prabhupada says Ravana also was very well versed. But because he had come on this earthly planet to act as enemy of Krishna, to fight with him, right? Jai and Vijay, pure devotees. Otherwise, how could they be the doorkeepers of Vishnu Loka? So he also failed. And even though he got the opportunity to come face to face with the Supreme Lord, he did not recognize him. He did not accept him. He did not worship him. All he was all the time thinking about how to kill him. Now, can anyone kill the Lord? It's not possible. But still, Prabhupada says demons, they think they can. Why? Because they think I am the Lord. You have to be very careful. Sometimes, even in our day-to-day lives, we may start getting that feeling of proprietorship. Oh, this is my wife, this is my husband, this is my these are my children, this is my house, this is my car, this is my Tesla, right? We get so attached to it. I got an email yesterday. Do you want to trade in your Tesla? New model, new colors, new features, new bells and whistles. Did you get a email? Not yet. You haven't completed 1 year. You haven't completed 1 year of Tesla, right? So this is what happens, that attraction is there. Maybe I should. So here, Ravana also had so much opulence that he was so puffed up and he became so, his consciousness was, I am the proprietor of everything and everyone. That proprietorship is what causes our downfall. The moment we start thinking that this is mine, that is where the downfall starts. So you have to be very, very careful. Excuse me. So because he failed to recognize Lord Ramachandra as the Supreme Lord, he was killed by Lord Ramachandra, but he did not attain salvation. Prabhupada says he did not attain any salvation. Now, Shishupal, when Jay came as Shishupal, he was privileged. Why do you think he was privileged? Why was Shishupal privileged?
He had the goal of 100.
Yeah, that he won't be killed till 100 mistakes he makes or insults Krishna 100 times.
He was privileged because he was closer to Krishna in relationships than other people.
Yeah, but what Prabhupada says, he was privileged because he merged into the body of Krishna, right? When he was killed by the Lord, he entered into the body of Lord Krishna. He also had immense opulence and he thought Krishna is my competitor, so I need to pull him down. Do we have competition in school, college, job? Big competition. Yes, in the job also.
At home also.
No comments. It is everywhere. Competition is there. So here Shishupal also thought that Krishna is my competitor, and he was very, very envious because Krishna was given more respect than him. Krishna was worshipped and he was not worshipped. So he was very envious, and that's why he quarreled with Krishna. So what do we learn from this? He was envious, that's why he quarreled with Krishna. What do we learn from this? If we are quarreling, that means we are envious. See? If we start quarreling with someone, especially devotee, then we know we are envious of that devotee. Then what should we do? Exactly, serve that devotee. The moment the thought comes of quarreling, then we should start serving that devotee. Yes. So this is what happened. And with Shishupal, because he thought Krishna is a competitor, he kept chanting his name unfavorably. I'm going to kill Krishna. Krishna is like that. Krishna is like that. And Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. And he was chanting Krishna's name all the time. Now, Prabhupada says we should not chant Krishna's name unfavorably. We have to chant it favorably with a lot of love and devotion. And Shishupal, Prabhupada says, he used to not only chant Krishna's name, but he would say, oh, what beautiful features he has. Envious. Why don't I have those beautiful features? Why does he have to have? So the moment these kind of thoughts come to our mind, we have to catch it immediately and say no. Then we need to start glorifying the good qualities of that other devotee and start not glorifying, but magnifying our faults. What all wrong things that we have in our lives. So he used to constantly chant Krishna's holy name unfavorably. And because of that, we should not think that he got cleansed of all contamination. There is a benefit of chanting the holy name, even though unfavorably, but the sinful reactions do not get cleansed. There is no guarantee of cleansing of the contamination. There is power is there in the holy name. And the thing with Shishupal was he remembered Krishna even at the last moment. There you were standing, Krishna is throwing the Sudarshan Chakra at him. And the only thing he was thinking of, Krishna right in front of him. And because of his constant remembrance, even though it was unfavorable, sinful reactions gradually were gone as soon as he got killed by Krishna. And he achieved salvation, which means merging into the body of Krishna. Now, we've heard in Bhagavad Gita also many times, in Srimad Bhagavatam also, where Prabhupada explains that the devotee does not desire to merge into the body of the Lord. That's impersonal, right? Can we be in a one dark room all by ourselves, no one to talk to, nothing to do? Will we be happy? No. And we are told not to even move, just be sitting on a chair. Cannot talk, cannot see because it's dark room, there's no one to talk to. How is that situation? We want to be engaged all the time, whether it is talking to someone, seeing someone, eating. Oh, how can we forget eating? Like this morning also, when I woke up, I'm thinking, what will I have for breakfast? Well, best thing is, thank you. Best thing is, I was asking for food. I got water.
Oh, that's starter.
That's a starter. So I was thinking, well, there's not much time. Let me boil some broccoli and eat. It's food, right? So constant remembrance is necessary, but it has to be in a favorable way. Of course, we have to maintain body and soul together. So we have to eat. We have to eat right. Not wake up in the morning and dump some samosas in your mouth and some rasgullas and gulab jam. That would not be nice.
Maybe some people do.
Some people do probably, yes. Yes. When children wake up, you want pizza?
Okay.
Yes. Right? Doesn't matter whether it's healthy or not. Anyway, so Prabhupada says the devotees are not interested in merging into the body of the Supreme Lord. So that's why the destination of devotees and non-devotees is not the same. So even Shishupal, even though he was envious of Krishna, and Prabhupada says if anyone is envious of Krishna, if they are killed by Krishna, they achieve salvation. See, that's important. So Prabhupada says, imagine the position of devotees who are all the time chanting the holy names favorably. They are constantly remembering Krishna and they are following the instructions given by Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. So imagine what will be their destination. What do you think will be their destination?
Live with Krishna, serve Krishna person.
Goloka Vrindavan.
Yes, Prabhupada says either Vishnu Loka or Goloka Vrindavan. That will be the destination. So it's not the same for non-devotees. Now the devotees, Prabhupada says, they do not desire to merge into Brahma Jyoti. Like I explained, closed in a black, dark room, cannot do anything. That is going to be miserable. Because soul is active by nature. As soon as we wake up, don't we look for somebody to talk to? Right? Like I was saying, something to eat, something to see, something to do. Of course, we ladies have a lot to do as soon as we wake up. Like we have 10 hands, going everywhere. Do this also, do that also. So Prabhupada says that is impersonal. So the devotees do not want to merge. In fact, he says that such salvation of merging into the body of Krishna is abominable for the devotees. Very strong word. Abominable. Do we eat abominable things? No. So merging is considered as abominable. Why? Because the devotees, as you said, like to personally associate with Krishna. They want to do personal service to him. It could be any service. It could be cooking for him, cleaning for him, making a garland for him. It could be any kind of service. That is what the devotee is looking for. So Krishna, Srila Prabhupada says in the purport, this is the difference between a devotee and a non-devotee. The big difference also is realization. The devotee is hopefully self-realized based on the knowledge, whereas the non-devotee does not have realization. So he compares their realization like heaven and hell. Is it the same? No, it's different. Talking about hell, I remember hearing one story in Radhadesh where there was a yoga teacher. Anyone teaching yoga here?
Teaching?
Teaching?
No.
No, okay. I hope no one on Zoom also is a yoga teacher because you may not like the story. That's why disclaimer. It's not my story. I heard it from somewhere. Somewhere means from Maharaj. So this yoga teacher, after death, was taken to hell. Yoga teacher should not go to hell. But this yoga teacher did. Just take it as a story. So when the yoga teacher reached hell, there were three options given for suffering. Hell is for suffering, right? So room number 1 was shown. Have I given the story before? No. So room number 1 was shown, in which this yoga teacher saw that people were screaming with pain because they were made to stand on burning logs of wood, fire. So, red hot burning. And can you keep your foot on fire? No, it's like you keep moving, jumping up and down, trying to avoid. He said, no, 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 I cannot handle this. This is too much. So room number 2. Room number 2, he saw that there were nails in the floor and people had to jump on that, not just stand. Stand, maybe you can manage, somehow. They had to jump. And their feet were bleeding and they were screaming in pain. He said, no, 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 no. Now there's only one option left. And the third option was, he saw that there were a few people. Now that room was filled with cow dung. You know what's cow dung, right? So the room was filled with cow dung and people were standing in that cow dung up till here, filled till here. It was smelling, but at least it was not painful. He said, I'll take that. So he went into room number 3 and he stood in the cow dung right up to here, filled till here. Yes, it was not a good, pleasant smell, but he was able to handle it. And cow dung is cooling, I don't know. We haven't dunked ourselves in cow dung. We don't know, but we assume it is cooling. At least it's not hot like the fire or hurting like the nails. So then after 10 minutes, a bell was ringing. Ting, 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 ting. And then there was an announcement in room number 3. The announcement was, now, unfortunately, all were yoga teachers in that room. So the announcement was, now everybody has to do a headstand.
Oh, Krishna.
That means the head goes inside the cow dung and the feet go up. For how long? For 15 minutes. Because this was a 15-minute break ring that would ring every 15 minutes. Yes. Huh?
The yoga teacher, right?
Yeah, but 15 minutes. I mean, you can do that Shirasan. Shirshasana.
And then
You can do it. Yeah, but you can do it. But you can do it on the yoga mat where there is fresh air and everything. Here you are inside the cow dung where you cannot breathe, and 15 minutes is a long time. Plus the smell is there.
Very intelligent story, Mataji.
So what do we learn from this? Not to stand or do a headstand in cow dung? No, that's not what we understand. What we understand is, Prabhupada explains that is our situation in this material world. We get a break for 15 minutes and then again we go dunk in Maya for 15 minutes and then again we come out and we don't learn a lesson and then we are ready for another dunk also, right? So thanks to Srila Prabhupada, he has given us this process by which we can change our consciousness. And even though this material world is considered like hell, we can make it into heaven with our consciousness. So the difference between devotee and non-devotee is their consciousness, their realizations. There's a difference in their mood. There's a difference in their attitude. There's a difference in their intention, and most importantly, difference in their activities, what activities they are performing. And unfortunately, Prabhupada says that the demons, they are very envious. Non-devotees are very envious of devotees. And the only aim of devotees is to love Krishna. And the only aim of non-devotees is to pull such devotees down. They're not interested in serving Krishna. They only want to enjoy. So Parashar Muni is describing to Maitreya Muni about the three transmigrations of these lives. He doesn't mention Jaya and Vijay to Maitreya Muni, but he's talking about how, first it was Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha, then it was Ravana and Kumbhakaran, and the third life was Shishupal and Dantavakra. He's talking about that. If we want to read more about this, then we go to Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, chapter number 16. So now, just like Jay and Vijay came down to help Krishna in his pastimes, to be his enemies, to come as demons, so that Krishna can enjoy that pastime of fighting with somebody. So that means when Krishna comes down, his associates come down as his enemies to fight with him. But Srila Prabhupada says that even Parashar Muni is saying that it is not necessary for Krishna's associates from Vaikuntha to come down in the role of his enemy in every millennium. No, it's not necessary. The associates do not come down in every millennium. And just like we, living entities, we have a desire, to eat, to sing, to dance, to fight. We are expert in fighting, right? We may not fight with mukka, what is this called? Mukka?
Punch.
Punch. We may not punch, but then our words. I know my husband says a very nice poem that he had learned in school. The tongue is so soft and meek, can kill, explain the Greek, something like that, which means the tongue is more powerful than a weapon. We can kill somebody with our words. It may not hurt that much with a weapon, then it hurts like a whatever we say. Very powerful. Tongue is very powerful. Even though it's soft and meek, there's no bone in the tongue, right? But still, just by our use of words, we can really kill somebody's consciousness. So Krishna also has that desire to fight. And Prabhupada says that he instigates his associates to come down so he can play with them as they are demons, just for pleasure. So Prabhupada says Krishna chooses, of course, his own parents. He also chooses his enemies, who he is going to fight with. So what do we conclude from this? That everything happens by the will of the Lord. We may make our plans, 5-year plans, 10-year plans, or whatever. But the ultimate sanction is from Krishna. It happens only by his will. What is that famous saying? Not a blade of grass moves without his will. Yes, not even a blade of grass. So towards the end of the purport, excuse me, Srila Prabhupada talks about the highest aim of a devotee. What should be the highest goal of a devotee? What do you think? So Krishna, chanting,
Associate with the devotees.
associate, follow the instructions,
Follow instruction of Guru.
Guru and Krishna.
Krishna
Then what
Prema.
will Krishna Prema? That should be the ultimate goal of a devotee. How can I love my Lord? It cannot be done by force, right? Nowadays, I think it's not very common to have arranged marriages. Mostly it's love marriages. I don't know, maybe there are some arranged marriages happening, probably in India. So if there is an arranged marriage And on the very first night, the husband puts a gun on the wife's head and says, "Love me." What do you think she will do?
Take the gun and fire him.
She'll take the gun and fire him? Oh, that would be extreme.
Kali-yuga method.
Kali Yuga, yes.
I had a similar experience with one of devotee. He said that I asked my wife,
Huh,
if I come home and I'm drunk,
huh,
what will you do?
huh.
She said, I will also drink and beat you. So that's how I related the gun.
Wow. That is Kali Yuga.
The couple was from Mumbai. For reference, sorry.
Don't give me the name.
Just joking.
You see? So in Kali Yuga, you cannot force someone to love you. It's a natural emotion that will develop based on the relationship. You see, when the husband and wife have that respect for each other, they serve each other, think themselves to be on the same level, help each other spiritually, then gradually that love will develop. Love develops with service. It's like, if the husband says, "I want masala dosa," the wife says, "Go make one for me too." That's not service, right? Does that happen? No, don't need to answer. Did your finger go out? Okay.
Even Barry memories.
If you said that, I would doubt it. That you asked Madhavi, make me one masala dosa. She said, "No, you make one for me too." That would be doubtful. And she's saying no. Confirmation. See, you see? So if we want to love Krishna, then we need to have the attitude of service. And the attitude of service doesn't start with Krishna. It starts with Lord Balram. Then it comes down to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Nityananda, Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj, devotees. This is how we start. Don't just go straight on top. We start from bottom. When we start serving devotees, when we start building a relationship with them, then there'll be natural emotion of love. And when Krishna sees that we love devotees, automatically he'll also get attracted to us. So service attitude is very, very important. And that service attitude will come when we have an attitude of gratitude, right? We are grateful that today, instead of, doing something else, we are sitting and hearing Krishna Katha, right? Even though it's early in the morning. So grateful that Srila Prabhupada gave us Krishna consciousness. Grateful that we have all these wonderful scriptures. We have devotee association. We have so much. So that attitude of gratitude will help us to start serving in a serious mode. Now, Gaur Purnima is coming up. Anyone's birthday is coming up? When birthday comes, what do we expect? Gift.
Blessings.
That's good. Blessings, but then we're also looking for gift. अच्छा आशीर्वाद तो दे दिया, गिफ्ट कहाँ है? बाकी का कहाँ है? Right? I'm not hinting at y'all, but I'm just saying that's the natural tendency, right? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance day is coming up, Gaur Purnima. What gift are we going to give him? What should be our meditation on what to give him? What is it that is going to please him? Yes. Chanting and distributing this holy name to as many as possible. So it's time to meditate on what is it that I can give to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu on Gaur Purnima day. Yes, it's nice that we, prepare a feast for him, decorate the Lord, nice new clothes and flower garlands and jewelry and everything. But more than that, what he would like is Yes, chanting. What is the message we got yesterday from Guru Maharaj? Chant your round attentively. He didn't say just chant your rounds. Chant your rounds attentively. Finish your rounds every day and read Srila Prabhupada's books. So when we will follow the instructions, then Krishna will help us, Guru will help us to progress spiritually. So the verse once again, where it has been stated that the Lord's enemies and devotees attain the same destination, this refers to the ultimate oneness of Brahman and Lord Krishna. This may be understood by the example of the sun and the sunshine, in which Brahman is like the sunshine and Krishna himself is like the sun. So we only covered one verse because it had a very beautiful long purport today. So I'm going to end now. If anyone has any questions or comments.